ब्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन ब्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन ब्रज जनरञ्जन
हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone to the final and concluding session in our multiple part series on this topic of the Panca Tattva of Vrindavan. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki Jai. In our first session we spoke about the glories of Shri Vrindavan Dham, the eternal playground, the eternal pastime place of Radha and Krishna. And then we also mentioned in that discussion that there are 5 prominent personalities, 5 merciful sources by whose mercy, by whose compassion we can actually enter into the pastimes of Vrindavan. In the second session we introduced and started and concluded with the first out of the 5 topics, and that is the holy dust of the land of Vrindavan. Duradapasya swajanan sukhamartha kotim sarveshu sadhana vareshu chiram nirasha varshantameva sahajadbhuta saukhya dhara Shri Radhika charanarena manusmarami. Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati has said, the dust of Vrindavan is so glorious that Durad apasya swajanan sukhamartha koti. With one hand I can throw away all the wonderful sources of joy in this world out of the window. If someone says, I'm ready to give you the holy dust of Shri Vrindavan Dham, Prabodhananda Saraswati says with one hand, Durad apasya swajanan sukhamartha koti. I am ready to throw away the joy and the happiness of this world far away out of the window. With the second hand, sarveshu sadhana vareshu chiram nirasha. I am ready to throw away all the different limbs of devotional service also, because I know they are all fructifying in service, in the humble mood of accepting the dust of Vrindavan. To get the dust of Vrindavan, he says, I am ready to give up everything material and spiritual, and I am ready to bathe varshantameva sahajadbhuta saukhya dhara. I am ready to take shower, bathe in the most auspicious rain shower of mercy, the holy auspicious foot dust of Vrindavan. That foot dust, I repeatedly take shelter. Prabodhananda Saraswati says. That was the first out of the 5. Then after that, in our next session, the third session, which we had yesterday, we introduced the second and the third out of the 5 members. The second is Lord Shiva. We discussed how Lord Shiva manifests so many different forms just to live in Vrindavan. And he smears the dust of Vrindavan all over his body. Lord Shiva, as Gopishwar, rules over Vrindavan. As Nandishwar, Ichheshwar, Aseshwar rules over Nandagram. Similarly, as Vankhandeshwar, he rules the heart of Sanatan Goswami, and you know why from yesterday's discussion. As Bhuteshwar, he wins over the residents of Mathura. As Kameshwar, he protects Kamyavan. As Kundeshwar, he protects Radhakund. And last but not the least, the hero of yesterday's discussion, Chakaleshwar Mahadev. He presides at Chakratirtha at Govardhan. So we mentioned how by taking shelter of Lord Shiva, by worshipping him in the mood that he is the greatest devotee, he will surely give us entry into the land of Vrindavan. After that, we introduced the third out of the 5. Can someone recollect? Yes, That is the holy, auspicious waterfall of Krishna's heart, Sri Yamuna Rasarani. In Vrindavan, two things are important: Raja and Rasa. Raja means just, and Rasa means the flowing current of Yamuna. So the flowing current of Yamuna is called Rasarani. She is the queen in the form of mellow. Right? There is Radharani, there is Rajarani, and there is Rasarani. Three Ranis. One is Radharani, the queen of Vrindavan. Second is Rasarani, Yamuna, the queen of Rasa, the queen of ever-flowing nectarian ambrosial water of Krishna's playful pastimes. And the third is Rajrani, the queen who is the powdered form of the dust part of Srimati Radharani's lotus feet. But only somebody to become Naukarani can enter into this land. Naukarani means in the mood of a servant. Just a funny joke. It is described in Garga Samhita by Gargacharya. There is actually a whole section on the glories of Yamuna. A whole book on the glories of Yamuna. Yamuna has been described in Garga Samhita, in Brahma Vaivarta Puran, in Adi Varaha Puran, so many places. And it's described that from the left side of Krishna's body, all the Shaktis manifest. Like Jiva Shakti, Ladini Shakti, Radharani appears from the heart of Krishna, the left side. And from the right side of Krishna, all the Vishnu Murtis manifest, all the incarnations. This is why we can see in the Panca Tattva, we don't have to worry to remember the order or which side of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Nityananda Prabhu, on which side is Advaita Acharya. We get confused, right? Like if Mahaprabhu is in the center, Nityananda Prabhu is here or here? Wait a minute. If he's here, then does Advaita Acharya come here or does he come here? We don't have to worry. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stands in the middle, and from his right side, all the Vishnu avatars come, which means Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya. They are the incarnations of Vishnu. And from the left side, all the Shaktis manifest. Like Gadadhar Pandit is Radharani. And to his extreme left is Srivas Thakur, who is Jiva Shakti, Jiva Tattva. So the living entity, Ladini Shakti, left side. Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya Vishnumurti, right side. And Mahaprabhu in the middle. Is that helpful? That's Mahaprabhu in the center and Shaktis from the left and incarnations from the right. So it is described that from Krishna's body, from his right side all the incarnations manifest, and from his left side, from his heart, Srimati Radharani manifests. From his effulgence, Sri Vrindavan Dham manifests. And from his innermost personality, as the divine spark, Govardhan manifests. But from his left shoulder, Yamuna manifests. It is described in Garga Samhita. So anyone who takes shelter of Yamuna, they will reach the beautiful, wonderful form of Krishna. There's no doubt about it. By accepting Yamuna, one drop every day, we will be protected. Consciousness will also be cleansed, and at the same time, we will make spiritual advancement by getting taste into the land of Vrindavan. So yesterday, we were mentioning, with respect to Yamuna, a certain pastime. And we will quickly recap and move ahead to know more details about it. We mentioned how when Krishna decided to come into this world, Radharani felt a lot of separation and she fainted. And Krishna said, what happened? Radharani said, well, I can't be without you. Krishna said, you don't have to be without me. You are coming with me. You and I, Radha and Krishna, both are incarnating on Mother Earth. Radharani said, well, I am not going to incarnate on Mother Earth unless I have three desires fulfilled. And Krishna fulfills all three of them. What are they? She wants Goloka Vrindavan to manifest, and that's why Vrindavan on Mother Earth manifests, which is none different from Goloka Vrindavan, the eternal abode. Second, she wanted Govardhan to manifest. Krishna sends Govardhan down as he is. And third, Radharani says, if I don't have Yamuna, I am not coming. Krishna said, don't worry, I have already sent Yamuna to flow on Mother Earth. We also mentioned the connection that Yamuna has with Radharani. Yamuna is an incarnation of Vishakha Sakhi. And Vishakha Sakhi and Radharani appear on the same day at the same time. So they have the same birth chart. Which means their destiny is the same. So Radharani's destiny is to meet and have pastimes with Krishna. And that's the same destiny that Vishakha as Yamuna has. Therefore, whenever Krishna performs pastimes with Radharani, he performs it on a boat floating in the Yamuna. So Yamuna and Radharani both get to have beautiful frolicking pastimes with Krishna at the same time. Krishna tells Yamuna to manifest in this world. And Yamuna flows in the form of a river, and through the Kalinda mountain in this world, manifests in this world. But we also mentioned how she manifests as the younger sister of Yamaraj. Yes? Do we remember from yesterday? We mentioned how Suryadev had the son called Yamaraj, and then had a daughter called Yamuna. So Yamuna manifests as the sister of Yamaraj, and she does the exact opposite service. Yamaraj's service is to close everyone's eyes at the form of death, to make everyone fall unconscious and dead. And Yamuna's service is to open everyone's eyes to spirit. She performs the exact opposite service. After she manifests in this world, her only desire is to, who remembers from yesterday? Put your hand up if you can recollect. After she manifests in this world, Yamuna's only desire is to, yes Mataji? That is perfect. Her only desire is to get married to Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Only desire is to marry Krishna. And you can't get Krishna unless we perform some austerity. So she, by her father's plan, builds a golden palace under her own waters of Yamuna. And she performs austerity. So Yamuna performs austerity in the waters of Yamuna while living in a golden palace built by her father, Suryadev, the sun god. There we mentioned about a story from the Mahabharata that the Pandavas and the Kauravas, when they had locked horns because of a long historical battle, the Kauravas were not ready to give even the tract of land which is held by the tip of a needle to the Pandavas. The Kauravas were not ready to give in charity. But then it is described those same Kauravas gave a big land, tract of land to the Pandavas, and it's all just barren, called as Khandaprast. All empty, barren land. Little did the Pandavas know about it. Krishna said, this land is barren. We can't do anything with it. So the Pandavas said, then we offer it to you. You can do whatever you want, Krishna. With this tract of land which is completely useless, we don't know what to do, but we know the best thing that we can do with this land, the best thing actually we can do with anything, is to just give it to you. Yat karoshi, yat ashnasi, yat juhoshi, dadasi, yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurushva madarpanam. Krishna says in the Gita, whatever you eat, whatever you do, whatever you give in charity, whatever you perform as austerity, just do that as an offering to me. So then the Pandavas just give that tract of land which is completely barren and useless to Krishna. And Krishna says, well, Agni, the presiding deity of fire, has been hungry for a long time. Let's just burn this whole tract of land. In that way, Agni has this whole barren land to swallow for himself. And that means we are feeding him. And Agni, whenever he's fed, he only gives good results. This is why, dear devotees, in Vedic culture, we always use fire as a means to offer yajna. Because when you offer something to fire, Agni, then he only gives good results. And you can see the more the fire becomes intense in a fire sacrifice, devotees get more ecstatic. Sometimes even devotees take photo and share on WhatsApp. Krishna appeared in the fire. Have you seen? In every fire sacrifice, there is one Krishna who appears, according to the devotees. And they will see, they will crop the image and show the threefold bending form in that fire. The priest himself is convinced Krishna didn't appear on the power of his mantras. The priest is saying, I didn't even chant properly. Krishna can't appear. But the vision of the devotees is such that they will always send some or the other WhatsApp message. Right? We've all seen that. Forwards, Krishna appeared. Maybe he appeared, but I'm just being a little skeptical there. Maybe not in every fire sacrifice. So when we offer something to the fire, we only get good results. So the Pandavas, they offer the whole tract of land to Krishna. Krishna offers it to Agni by setting the whole barren land on fire. Agni swallows up the whole land fulfills his hunger, gets satisfied, and benedicts beautiful, wonderful, powerful weapons to Krishna. Krishna gives them to the weapons to the Pandavas and says, you use this in the war against the Kauravas. The Kauravas who gave you this land has been given to Agni. Agni has given the weapons, now you give the weapons back to the Kauravas by using it against them in the battle. After saying this, Krishna takes rest. Because when there is a lot of fire, you feel thirsty and you feel sleepy. So Krishna takes some rest under a tree. And when he wakes up, he tells Arjuna that I'm feeling very thirsty. I don't know what to do. So Arjuna says, let me go around and get some water. Arjuna starts walking around in the forest of Khandapras to find water. And there he finds this very beautiful girl with a bluish black complexion, with 2 hands, beautiful lotus eyes, bedecked with jeweled ornaments, and she has garlands of lotus flowers. When Arjuna asks her, what are you doing in this tract of land where there's no human? There's absolutely no human being in any direction. This beautiful girl walking around, what are you doing? Who are you in the first place? She says, actually my name is Yamuna. And I have been living in my own waters here, underwater, performing austerity in the golden palace built by my father, who is Suryadev. Arjuna says, okay, so you are here performing austerity, but what is the purpose of your austerity? Yamuna says, the only purpose of my austerity is, as Mataji said, I want to marry Krishna. Arjuna looks at the situation, he says, wait a minute, Krishna is thirsty, he is looking for water, you have flowing water, and you're looking for Krishna. Arjuna says, let me just bring both of you together. Krishna, he takes some water, feeds Krishna, fresh, tasty, ambrosial, nectarian Yamuna water. Krishna feels rejuvenated and refreshed. And then Arjuna tells the whole story of Yamuna to Krishna. Krishna comes running to the scene. When any devotee performs austerity, Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur mentions, don't try to see God, but act in such a way that God tries to see you. And that was the classic case in the pastime of Yamuna, in the pastime of Dhruva Maharaj, in the pastime of Prahlad Maharaj, in the pastime of Gajendra, in the pastime of Draupadi. The devotees called out and Krishna came to the scene. We can find in the Ramayana, when Jatayu waged this war against Ravan, and he comes down as a martyr, losing his wings to Ravana's sword. Ramchandra comes to the scene. Ramchandra embraces Jatayu and he says, oh Jatayu, why did you even fight Ravana? You could have just flown faster than the wind and come and told me. I would have come to the scene and I would have fought Ravana. Why did you lose your life like this? Why did you take on Ravana? You're old, 60,000 years old. Ravana is young. You're a bird and your only weapon are the claws and the beak. But Ravana has so many weapons and so many hands and so many heads. You don't even have a chariot. He has a chariot with a chariot driver. And it's a chariot with flies, inexhaustible. You get tired, he doesn't. You should have just come, Ramchandra said. Oh Jatayu, you should have just come to me and called me, and I would have come and fought the war against Ravana. Why did you even take on Ravana? And Jatayu mentions at that time, my dear Lord, if I do that, then I would have had to come searching for you. But if I engage in service, then you come searching for me. Between the two, what is more glorious? The second, where Jatayu took on a battle which he knew he's going to lose. But in his loss was the greatest victory. Because Ramachandra came to him, embraced him, and performed the last rites for Jatayu, the fortune that even Dasharath Maharaj couldn't get. To have the last rites done by his son Ramachandra, that Jatayu got only by humbly, lovingly serving the Supreme Lord. So history has proven this point, that when devotees sincerely, with devotion, one-pointed spirit, they seek out the Supreme Lord, Krishna comes to the scene. They don't have to go. Krishna comes to them. For Prahlad Maharaj didn't go to Nishinga Loka. Nishinga left Nishinga Loka and came for Prahlad through a pillar. Through a pillar. Satyam vidhatum nijavritya bhashitam vyaptim cha bhuteshu akhileshu chatmana adrishya tatyat bhutarupam udvahan stambhe sabhayam na mrigam na manusham. Nrsimhadev could have appeared from anywhere. Just like Varahadev appeared from the nostril of Brahma. Krishna appeared from the mind of Vasudeva. Lord Kapila appeared from the womb of Devahuti. Nrsimha could have appeared from anywhere, but because Prahlad pointed to the pillar, Nrsimha came from the pillar for Prahlad. So the Lord comes to the devotee. When Dhruva Maharaj was performing austerity, the Lord came to Dhruva. Dhruva didn't go to the Lord. When Gajendra called out, the Lord came to Gajendra. When Draupadi called out, Agre Kurunam Athapandavanam Dushasanena Ritavastra Kesha Krishna Tadakrosha Dananyanatha Govinda Damo Dharamadhaveti. It is described when Draupadi called out, Krishna appeared to the scene, but there was some delay. Krishna didn't come immediately. So one commentator, he writes, very beautiful commentator, Parashara Bhatta Swami from South India. He comments in his book, why was there a delay in Krishna's appearance to the scene? When Draupadi called out to Krishna, Krishna could have come immediately. He writes, Draupadi called out, Govinda Dwarakavasi, Krishna Gopi Janapriya. O Krishna, who lives in Dwaraka, I am calling out to you. Parashar Bhatta Swami writes at that point that Krishna was actually there. But because Draupadi said, you are in Dwaraka, Krishna went to Dwaraka and then came back. To prove the point of Draupadi, and therefore there was some delay. Because otherwise the words of Draupadi would have been false. So when Draupadi said, Govinda Dwaraka Vasi, Krishna went to Dwaraka and then came as a resident of Dwaraka. Such a precarious situation, but Krishna came to the devotee. So similarly, here Yamuna is performing austerity. And by the inconceivable mercy of Arjuna, Yamuna offers water to Krishna, and Krishna comes to accept her hand in marriage. Krishna gets married to Yamuna in the form of Kalindi. Kalindi. Kalindi is the queen of Krishna, the non-different manifestation of Yamuna in Dwaraka. And we were mentioning yesterday, of all Krishna's queens, Kalindi is the only one who is a Vrajvasi. All other queens of Krishna, they are from Dwaraka and other places. But only Kalindi is the queen of Krishna who is from Vrindavan. So therefore it is described and discussed that when Krishna was departing from this world, he told Parikshit Maharaj and Vajrana was Krishna's great-grandson. Krishna told his great-grandson and Parikshit Maharaj at the same time. Krishna's great-grandson is Vajrana and Arjuna's grandson is Parikshit. So Krishna told both of them that when I leave this planet, my queens will cry in separation. At that time, please bring them to Yamuna in Vrindavan. Let my queens in Dwaraka meet Yamuna in Vrindavan, then Yamuna will take it ahead from there. And surely enough, that is what happened. When Krishna left this world, Krishna departed and disappeared from this world. All the queens of Krishna were crying and weeping in separation. Ha Krishna, oh Krishna, why did you leave us? Where can we find you? They didn't know where to go. At that time, Parikshit Maharaj and Vajrana, following the instruction of Krishna, they came to the queens of Dwaraka. And they said, Krishna has instructed us. Now that he has departed and all of you are burning in the fire of separation, or we could say drowning in the ocean of tears, Krishna has told that all of you should come and meet Yamuna in Vrindavan. So all the queens, they came to Vrindavan, along with Parikshit Maharaj and Vajrana. All the queens of Krishna from Dwaraka, they came to Vrindavan. And when they came to Vrindavan, they saw the flowing of the Yamuna river. And Yamuna was having high tides. And there were wonderful, happy ripples of joy. So the queens of Dwarka asked Yamuna, you're also Kalindi, you're also queen of Krishna. Why is it that we are burning in the fire of separation from Krishna, but you're having the high tides of joy? Yamuna said, this is the fortune of those who live in Vrindavan. Krishna may leave Mathura and go to Dwaraka, and leave Dwaraka and go to the spiritual world. But Vrindavanam parityajya padam ekam nagacchati. Krishna has promised he doesn't take one step out of Vrindavan. Yamuna said, you all feel separation because Krishna left you, but I am flowing in Vrindavan. Krishna never leaves Vrindavan, so I don't feel any separation. I am having supreme joy. So now the queens were amazed by the glory of this land of Vrindavan. So the queens all offered obeisances to Yamuna. And they said, dear Kalindi, can you please tell us how we can also fall in love with Krishna in the mode of a resident of Vrindavan like you? How can we live in Vrindavan? How can we never feel separation? Yamuna said there is only one way. For that you have to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. You have to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. So the queen said, what is Srimad Bhagavatam? So Yamuna said, there is actually a very exalted Brajvasi Bhagavatam Guru by the name Uddhava. Uddhava, the disciple of Brihaspati, is the best teacher on the Bhagavatam. Vrishninam pravaro mantri Krishnasya daitasakha shishyo Brihaspate shakchat Uddhavo buddhi sattama. That Uddhava is the direct disciple of Brihaspati, the guru of the demigods. So Yamuna tells all the queens in Dwarka, you should go to Uddhava and hear Srimad Bhagavatam. So the queen said, where is Uddhava? Yamuna said, Uddhava is at Kusum Sarovar. Kusum Sarovar is a beautiful, wonderful pond. It's a beautiful, wonderful pond at the foothill of Govardhan. So there you all should go. And Uddhava is sitting ready for you. You should hear Srimad Bhagavatam from Uddhava at Kusum Sarovar. So all the queens, they go to Kusum Sarovar and Uddhava speaks 30 days, Srimad Bhagavatam. 30 days continuously, all day and all night, to the queens of Dwarka, to the wives of Krishna. At the end of 30 days, the queens of Dwarka ask Uddhava, the Srimad Bhagavatam is intoxicating. By hearing Srimad Bhagavatam for 30 days, now we feel the presence of Krishna. We feel that we can see Krishna and this Vrindavan is our land. Uddhava said, very good. The perfection of reading Srimad Bhagavatam is to fall in love with Vrindavan. In our Gaudiya Sampradaya, there was a very great exalted Acharya by the name Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, when he was a 10-year-old child, his older brother was a very great scholar on Srimad Bhagavatam. So his older brother told the younger brother Vishwanath Chakravarti that you should study Srimad Bhagavatam. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said, sure, because my older brother, my teacher of Srimad Bhagavatam is instructing me, I will study Srimad Bhagavatam. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur sat at the age of 10 and studied Srimad Bhagavatam and finished 12 cantos in 12 months. 12 cantos in 12 months, one canto a month. Quite impressive at the age of 10. Any 10-year-old here in the assembly? Anybody who's 10 years old? After what I have said, even if you're 10, you know you're not putting your hand up. Because my next point will be, if you're 10, you can also reach. Those who are 10, they're putting their hand down. Anybody who's 11? Murli is 11. Okay. What is your name? Yash. Yash is also 11. And? Swarit is also 11. And Arjun is also 11. So 11, all the 11 years old, you can also study Srimad Bhagavatam. If Vishwanath Chakravarti can do it, you can also do it. He's teaching by example. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, as a 10-year-old child, in 12 months he finished 12 cantos. At the end of it, his older brother and teacher of Srimad Bhagavatam asked him, so tell me in one line, what is the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam? So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said as a 10-year-old, I don't know. 18,000 verses, 335 chapters, 12 cantos. I don't know what's the essence. His older brother said, oh, that means you haven't studied Srimad Bhagavatam properly. Go and study again. So he took another 12 months to study 12 cantos. And Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, now he was 11 years old. One more year had passed. So he came back to his older brother. And now his older brother asked him, in one line you tell me what is the essence of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said, I can try. He said, the essence that I caught in my heart is to run to Vrindavan and serve Radha and Krishna and never return. And Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's older brother said, very good. This is the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam, to develop appreciation for the land of Vrindavan. So in that same mood, the queens of Dwaraka, after hearing Srimad Bhagavatam for 1 month from Uddhava. Thank you. Thank you for being so attentive. Thank you. It's very, very impressive. So by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from Uddhava for 30 days, the queens of Dwaraka, they fell in love with the land of Vrindavan. And they said, we want to live here. But Uddhava, we have a question. The question is, why is it that you got us to Kusum Sarovar? Any place in Vrindavan could have been our place of study. But why Kusum Sarovar? Uddhava said, actually there is a history to Kusum Sarovar. Everyone ready? I hope you're not getting confused.
No.
I hope. There is a history to Kusum Sarovar. And the history is, the gopis headed by Srimati Radharani would come to this place, which used to be just filled with kusum. Kusum in Sanskrit means flowers. It was the forest of flowers. There was no pond at that time. It was just a forest of flowers. So they would come there to pick the best flowers. And one fine day it's described, when the gopis headed by Radharani were picking flowers, the owner of that forest came and he chastised the gopis and he drove away all the gopis. Said, this is my place, I am the gardener. I take care of this place, I water and I blossom these flowers, and you outsiders, you come and just pick these flowers. So the gopis got scared, and the flower owner of the forest, the gardener, he drove away the gopis. But when Srimati Radharani and Lalita Sakhi refused to leave, because Radharani is Vrindavaneshwari, she's the queen of the whole place. So the gardener should listen to the queen, not that the queen listens to the gardener. So Lalita Sakhi said, who are you? He said, I am Mali. Mali means gardener. Lalita Sakhi said, no, you're not Mali. You forgot to hide your flute. You're Vanamali. Krishna. Mali means gardener. And Vanamali is the name of Krishna, who wears garlands of forest flowers. So you're not Mali. You are Vanamali. You forgot to hide your flute. Krishna came and stuck all the fake mustache and he was trying to act as if he was the gardener. But Lalita Sakhi came and... Fake mustache? Krishna said, no, that's actual mustache. Lalita Sakhi said, no, you're Krishna. Look, you forgot to hide your flute. Then Krishna took off his turban and he said, yes, I am Krishna. He revealed his identity to Srimati Radharani. Then Lalita Sakhi called all the gopis. Krishna asked Srimati Radharani and the gopis, why do you come here? And why do you pick flowers from here? So then Radharani said, actually they are the best flowers in the whole of Vrindavan. So Krishna said, so what do you do with this? Radharani said, we make garlands for you. All the Sakhis, we pick the best flowers and we make garlands for you. So Krishna said, so what are you going to do after taking these flowers? Radharani said, we are going to take it to Yamuna to wash the flowers. Krishna said, oh, you have to walk all the way from here at Govardhan to Yamuna to wash flowers? Don't do that. Radharani said, then how will we wash these flowers? Krishna said, no problem. You don't have to go to the Yamuna. I will invite Yamuna here. I will invite Yamuna here. Krishna hit his right heel. Shri Shri Radha Neela Madhav ki. Krishna struck his right foot heel on the floor and made a big depression there and invoked Yamuna to the place. And as Yamuna came to the place and filled the pond full of flowers, that pond was called Kusum Sarovar. So Kusum Sarovar is actually Kusum and Sarovar. Sarovar means water pond of Yamuna, and Kusum means the flower pastime. How beautiful. Uddhava said, this is the history of Kusum Sarovar, and it is only by the mercy of Yamuna can we understand Srimad Bhagavatam. Yamuna cannot say, sit on my banks and study Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore she said, go to Kusum Sarovar and study from Uddhava. So the queens of Dwaraka didn't know that Kusum Sarovar is actually Yamuna. But Uddhava revealed that Kusum Sarovar is actually Yamuna. And only on the banks of Yamuna, under a worshipable teacher as Uddhava, in the humble mood as the queens of Dwaraka, in the land of Vrindavan, for a prolonged period of time, at least 1 month, can the purport of Srimad Bhagavatam manifest. So therefore, by the blessings of Yamuna, the queens of Dwaraka became Brajvasis. Isn't it fascinating? So beautiful. This is the beautiful, wonderful contribution of Yamuna. Also, in the pastimes of Krishna, we can see Yamuna has played such an integral part. Vrishabhanu Maharaj and Kirtida Devi, the parents of Radharani, they didn't have a child. They performed austerity for a long time, they didn't have a child. Then they decided, let's move to the banks of Yamuna. Because Yamuna is so powerful, if we perform any spiritual activity on her banks, it's possible our austerity may fructify. Radharani's parents, Vrishabhanu Maharaj and Kirtida Devi, they moved to the banks of Yamuna and performed austerity for 1 whole month. And in that beautiful, wonderful waters of Yamuna, on a golden lotus flower, Vrishabhanu Maharaj and Kirtida Devi found the golden complexioned baby called Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani ki Jai! Same story on this side. Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda. Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj. They didn't have a child for a long time. So they also moved to the banks of Yamuna. And they performed austerity for 1 whole month, 1 whole year on the banks of Yamuna. And by the blessings of Yamuna, Mother Yashoda became pregnant. And suddenly her craving to eat Makhan Misri increased. Makhan Misri means very sweet butter with a lot of sugar cubes. Nice sweet butter. Mother Yashoda never had this inclination before. But suddenly after she became pregnant, she started eating makhan every day. And she would think, and nobody understood why. Because nobody had witnessed the butter thief. Only after Krishna appeared and he started eating makhan and misri, not just in his home, but in the neighbor's home also, then the pieces of the puzzle came together. Everything fell in place. Oh, this butter thief is such a big thief that even while being in the womb, he was stealing through his mother's mouth. And Mother Yashoda used to tell Krishna, you are a chor, which means you are a thief. Krishna would tell Mother Yashoda, all glories to you. Now there is a deeper meaning to this. Why? Because in the forefathers of Mother Yashoda, there was a person by the name Chor Ghosh. And it's described that the son always inherits the qualities of the mother and the mother's forefathers. And the daughter is close to the father and the son is close to the mother. Prabhupada writes this in one purport of Srimad Bhagavatam, that the daughter inherits the heart of the father. And the son, again it's not a blanket statement, but Prabhupada says in most cases it is seen. So Krishna being the son inherited the mother's dynasty. And in Mother Yashoda's forefathers there was one person by the name Chor Ghosh. So when Mother Yashoda would tell Krishna, you're a chor, you're a thief, Krishna would say, it's all because of your dynasty. Your forefather was Chor Ghosh, because of which I have become chor. The pastimes of Mother Yashoda and Krishna are heart-melting. Srila Jiva Goswami in Gopal Champu, he writes, when I hear the pastimes of Krishna, my heart doesn't melt. But when I hear the baby pastimes of Krishna, still my heart doesn't melt. But however, when I hear the interactions of Mother Yashoda with baby Krishna, Srila Jiva Goswami Pad writes, my heart melts like butter, and then that butter thief comes and steals it away. How beautiful. Very, very sweet. Srila Rupa Goswami Pad writes, Kwananam kwa nayanam kwa nasika. Mother Yashoda would ask Krishna, Kwa ananam, Krishna, where is your face? And he would take his index finger and he would point. Kwa ananam, where is your face? Oh, Krishna would point. Kwa nayanam, where are your eyes? Krishna would point. Kwa nasika, where is your nose? Krishna would point. Then Mother Yashoda would ask, where is your shika? Show Mother Rohini Maya, where your shika? And Krishna would point. And as he would point, he would try to see also. And then when he doesn't drink milk, Mother Yashoda would tell Krishna, you should drink milk. Krishna would say, what is the use of drinking milk? Mother Yashoda would say, have you seen Balaram? He's of the same age, but he has a longer shika. Krishna would say, yes, I always wondered why. Mother Yashoda said, it's because he drinks more milk. Mother Yashoda would tell baby Krishna, if you drink more milk, you will also have long shika like Balaram. So Krishna would hold shika with one hand and take one sip. And then see, and would ask his mother, did it grow? And Mother Yashoda would say, yes, but very little. If you drink one more sip, it will grow 1 more inch. And in this way, Krishna would finish the whole cup. And Mother Yashoda would trick him saying, look, your shika has become so big. It's become so long. These very sweet, loving pastimes of baby Gopal and Mother Yashoda, they melt the heart of the Vaishnavas. Kshaumam vasaha pratukatitate vibrati sutra nadam putra sneha snuta kuchayugam jata kampam cha subruhu rajva karsha shrama bhuja chalat kankanam kundalecha swinnam vaktram kavala vijaya malati nirmamanta. Bhagavatam describes that Mother Yashoda with so much love would churn for Krishna, and Krishna would give up his most exciting sleep only to come and embrace Mother Yashoda, who's working so hard for him. This is the glory of Mother Yashoda and baby Gopal. I don't know why I came to this point. I was saying something else. I lost the connection. What was I saying? The pastimes of Krishna and baby Gopal are so exciting that it makes... I don't know why I was saying all this. But anyway, we were talking about Krishna entering the womb of Mother Yashoda. And Mother Yashoda's desire to eat butter increasing because the butter thief was in the womb. Thank you, Krishna. Thank you. Because if he would have taken this away, I don't know, I was just sitting and I didn't know why I was saying it. I completely lost the connection. So it is described that Nanda and Yashoda also had a baby, Krishna, only after they moved to the banks of Yamuna. And not just that, when Krishna appeared in the prison house of Mathura, and when Vasudeva was carrying Krishna, it was Yamuna who gave way and touched the lotus feet of Krishna. Actually, one commentator writes, Krishna was so excited looking at Yamuna that he fell from the basket into the Yamuna. So Vasudeva Maharaj had to search out for Krishna and pick him up and put in the basket and put him back again. One devotee writes. However, the most popular version is Yamuna touched the lotus feet of Krishna. But one devotee, Bhavotsavena bhajatam rasakama dhenum, the festival of bhav exploding in the heart of the devotee. They see all inconceivable things. He said out of excitement, Krishna jumped and fell into the Yamuna. Hare Krishna. It is described that Yamuna gave way to Vasudeva Maharaj and Krishna to tell Krishna that, oh Krishna, I as Kalindi, I am performing tapasya to get married to you. I am waiting for you to grow up. And I am giving you way. I am giving you way into my heart. Yamuna, by splitting in the middle, was telling Vasudeva Maharaj and Krishna, please both of you look into my heart. I am giving you way into my heart. My desire is to marry Krishna. So Vasudeva said, how can you marry Krishna? Krishna is a Kshatriya. Vasudeva Maharaj is saying, my son is going to be the king. And he's going to be chivalrous. He's going to be very brave. A wife of that caliber can marry him, not you. So what did Yamuna do? She said, oh, if I have to prove to my father-in-law that I am intense, well, let me do it. And she rose to touch Krishna's feet, to show everyone that she has the power of a Kshatriyani. And not just that, she was flooding through all the streets of Mathura to show Vasudeva Maharaj, if your son is a king, I can be the queen. Or acharyas have written like this. This is why Yamuna was flooding, to prove to Vasudeva Maharaj that she wants to marry his son. We can see in Krishna's pastimes. So basically the point is, Radharani's appearance and Krishna's appearance, both Yamuna. And not just that, we can see right from childhood, Krishna would jump into the Yamuna. He would swim in the Yamuna. It is described sometimes Krishna would be on the banks of Yamuna and jump into the Yamuna making the sound of a frog. And there used to be water that would splash. Krishna would make the sound of a frog and jump into the Yamuna. One time it is described, Krishna finished his forest pastime of bhojan with his friends and he went into the Yamuna to wash his hands. Seeing this, Brahmaji became so greedy to eat the remnants of Krishna that Brahma became a fish in the Yamuna to eat the remnants coming from the dripping of the Lord's hand after he washed the remnants in the Yamuna. To drink that, the creator of this material world became a fish in the Yamuna only to drink the remnants from Krishna's hand. Such inconceivable pastimes are there. It is described that one time Krishna told Srimati Radharani that I want to know how to play the flute. And Radharani said, okay, you bring a bamboo stick and you make some holes and you start blowing. I will teach you. Radharani would teach a note and tell Krishna to mimic that note, to replicate that note. And then Radharani would teach another note and Krishna would play that note. And then Radharani would play another note and tell Krishna to play another note. But every time Krishna would make a mistake. So that Radharani teaches him again and again and again and again and again. And later Radharani realized, actually Krishna is an expert flute player. He was just wasting her time. All these sweet pastimes of Krishna learning the art of flute playing happened on the banks of Yamuna. In fact, it is described, this is why Krishna performed an Arangetram performance for the pleasure of Radharani on the banks of Yamuna on Sharad Purnima as the Rasa Leela. Because Radharani taught Krishna how to dance and how to play the flute, Krishna played the flute and danced as an offering to his Guru. Radhikara Prema Guru Ami Shishyanat. Krishna says, I am the disciple and Radharani is my teacher. So as an offering, as Guru Dakshina, because the Guru taught dancing and flute playing, Krishna played the flute and danced on the night of Sharad Purnima, the Rasa Leela, that also on the banks of Yamuna. So in this way, dear devotees, Yamuna is so glorious, so wonderfully glorious, that the boat pastimes are also on the Yamuna. Beautiful, beautiful Salila Vihar. In ISKCON we celebrate boat festival, right? So many temples. And every time, that water is Yamuna. All the time. Think about the pastime of Kaliya. Think about the pastime of Kaliya. Vilokya dushitam Krishnam Krishna Krishna hina vibhu. Shukdev Goswami describes, Kaliya is the only person whom Krishna let go alive. All other demons Krishna killed. Agasur, Bakasur, Dhenukasur, Arishtasur, Vatsasur, Putana, Shakatasur, Trinavarta, all of them were killed except Kaliya. Why? Shukdev Goswami is saying this, and one Acharya writes to that. At the end of the day, how much ever people try to be very liberal and open-minded, at the end of the day, everyone likes their own caste. Everyone likes their own race. Everyone likes their own nationality. So, 3 personalities are dark complexion here. Yamuna, Kaliya and Krishna. So when Acharya writes, Krishna jumped into Yamuna to save her because she's of the same complexion. And finally, when Kaliya was being chastised by Krishna, Kaliya said, the word Krishna means attractive, but the word Krishna also means dark complexion. So you are Krishna, I am also Krishna, she's also Krishna. We're all of the same family. Krishna said, that's right. So instead of punishing you, I will give you an extra cut under the table. Instead of acting as if I'm dancing on your hoods, I will imprint your hoods with the dust of my lotus feet. Therefore, Krishna gave mercy to Kaliya and protected Kaliya from Garuda, and gave mercy to Yamuna by protecting Yamuna from the poison. Krishna Leela is like a crystal. You can switch it the direction that you want, and different colors or different commentaries come out. Who can say that I know this pastime? Any pastime for that matter. Even Brahmaji cannot say. Jananta eva janantu kim bahuktya name prabho manasa vapusho vacho vaibhavam tava gocharam. Brahmaji has said, if somebody says that I know this pastime, this is there in the Bhagavatam. Brahmaji says, if someone says, well, I know this aspect of Krishna. Oh, I have heard about Putana. Oh, I know Damodar Leela. Brahmaji says, Jananta eva janantu. Let them say whatever they want. Kim bahuktya name prabhu. What can I comment about these proud people? But as far as I am concerned, Brahma says, Manasa, Vapusha, Vacha, Vaibhavam Tava Gocharam. My Lord, through mind, body and words, every head must bow and every tongue must confess, Brahma says, that my Lord, you are unlimited. The more we taste, the tastier it gets. And there is even more taste. This is the position of Yamuna Devi. Even when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Vrindavan, it is described when he came, he entered Mathura. His ecstasy became 100 times. Then when he came to Vrindavan, his ecstasy became 1,000 times. Then when he came to Govardhan, his ecstasy became 10,000 times. And when he looked at the waters of Yamuna, he fainted. It is described, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat under Imlital tree on the banks of Yamuna. And he chanted Hare Krishna Mahamantra there. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanted, something mysterious happened. His golden complexion turned bluish black at Imlital, looking at the Yamuna. Why? Because it is described, when Krishna sat in Krishna Leela on the banks of Yamuna remembering Radharani, his complexion had become golden. Now when Radharani appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with golden complexion, remembering Krishna, chanting Krishna's names, she became bluish black. And Yamuna is the one who is seeing Radha and Krishna separate right from childhood and even combined as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Who can describe the glories of Yamuna? Rupa Goswami has sung Ramya Tira Rambhamana Gokalamba Bhushita Divya Ganda Bhakadamba Pushparaji Rushita Nanda Sunu Bhakta Sangha Sangama Vinadini Mam Punato Sarvadara Vindabandhu Nandini. Rupa Goswami has sung, I bow down and I take shelter of Yamuna, the daughter of the sun god. How is she? Ramya Tira Rambhamana Gokadamba Bhushita. Rupa Goswami describes one bank of Yamuna. Ramya Tira is very attractive. And Rambhamana. Rambhamana means the sound of the cows. The cows and the calves are making the Rambhamana sound. Rupa Goswami says, Ramyatir Rambhamana Go Kadamba Bhushita. On one banks of the Yamuna, attractive Yamuna, the whole family of cows and calves are making hum sound. And on the other banks, Divya Gandha Bhak Kadamba Pushparaji Rushita. There are forests of Kadamba flowers whose intoxicating fragrance are welcoming the cows. The cows feel like jumping across the Yamuna to smell the fragrance of the Kadamba. And in the middle, between the forest of Kadamba flowers and the Kadamba, which means groups of cows, because Rupa Goswami has played with the word Kadamba. Ramya Tira Rambhamana Go Kadamba. Kadamba means group, but Kadamba also is the name of a flower. So he says, Ramya Tira Rambhamana Go Kadamba Bhushita Divya Gandha Bhak Kadamba Pushparaji Rushita. On one side are the cows, and on the other side are the fragrant trees. And in the middle, Nanda Sunu Bhakta Sangha Sangamabhinandini is Yamuna flowing, welcoming the devotees on both sides to splash into her water, and not just into the water, but into the rasa of her mercy, to enter the pastimes of Krishna. Mam Punatu Sarvada Arvinda Bandhu Nandini. Rupa Goswami Pad says, may that daughter of the sun god, Yamuna, purify my consciousness. Shri Yamuna Rasarani ki Jai. So much can be said about Yamuna. But we will pause here for Yamuna. That was the third out of the 5 tattvas. Now let's move to the 4th and the 5th. Time is very short. I promise you next time when I come, 4th and 5th we will discuss in great length. But today we will just touch on the topic for the sense of record. Just so that we are satisfied we completed the 5 tattvas. The 4th. Any guesses?
Vrindavan.
Govardhan.
Vrindadevi.
Vrindadevi. Govardhan.
One of the two? Which one do you want me to take first?
Govardhan.
Vrindadevi.
Govardhan.
Okay. Those who want to hear about Vrindadevi first, others keep quiet, but those who want to hear about Vrindadevi, loudly, 3, 2, 1. Together. 3, 2, 1. Okay, quite loud. Now those who want to hear about Govardhan first, 3, 2, 1. I am scared if I don't take Govardhan now, I think I will be crushed under the Govardhan weight. And also today it's been raining, so it's a nice stimulant to remember Govardhan Leela. We should think that look, outside it is raining and this is Govardhan. And we are all sitting under Govardhan. Indra is trying to pour rain outside, but farak nahi padta. Because we are under the wonderful shelter of Govardhan. This temple is Govardhan, this roof is Govardhan, and Radha Neela Madhav are holding, and we Brajvasis are sitting. Shri Giriraj Maharaj ki Jai! Giriraj Govardhan has been described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Has been described in Srimad Bhagavatam as the best among devotees. Now this is a very high statement. And who is saying this? Who is saying that Giriraj Govardhan is the best among devotees? Shukdev Goswami is speaking. One commentator writes at that point that the gopis are not able to speak, so therefore Shukdev Goswami is actually speaking on their behalf. So who is actually glorifying Govardhan to be the best among devotees? The gopis. Now we don't know which gopi. But Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, he says that this name, Haridasa Varya, Amritam Uditam Shri Radhika Vaktra Chandrat. This name has risen from the beautiful lotus mouth of Srimati Radharani. So Radharani announces Govardhan to be the best among servants. Dear devotees, this is to be understood like this. Giriraj Govardhan, Manasa Prakrite Jato Giri Govardhano Mahan. The Garga Samhita and the Brahma Vaivarta Purana describe that one time, this is a very confidential pastime, one time Radharani asked Krishna as a proof of how much affection he has for her. Because Radharani said all the time, I am proving my affection for you. In the middle of the night, you just have to play the flute. Basuri wale, you're just playing the flute, but I am the one who's running. And sometimes my lipstick is on my eyes. And sometimes my kajal is on my lips. And it's topsy-turvy because you're playing the flute. So Radharani said, I have proven my affection and the Shastra knows that. But you have not proven how much affection you have for me, for the gopis, the gopas and whole of Vrindavan. Krishna said, I can prove. Brajbasis are my everything. Radharani said, prove it. How much love do you have for the Brajbasis? Krishna said, this much. Radharani said, that's it? Krishna said, no, this much. Radharani said, that's it. Krishna said, no, this much. Radharani said, that's it? Krishna said, oh, I really have to prove now. Krishna sat in meditation and it is described, Manasa Prakrite Jato Giri Govardhano Mahan. When Krishna sat in meditation and thought of how much love he has for the Brajbasis, from his heart manifested Govardhan Hill, which was 80 million yojanas in height. Hare Krishna. It is described, one yojana is about 8 miles. 80 million yojanas. That's how tall Govardhan was. Radharani said, he's blocking the sun. What is this? And he's expanding. He's big. When Radharani asked, what is this? Krishna said, Manasa Prakrite Jato Giri Govardhano Mahan. This is Giriraj Govardhan. And when I think of the love that I have for the residents of Vrindavan in meditation, the extent of my love for the Brajbasis has manifested as Govardhan. And because my love for the Brajbasis is ever increasing, and it is heavy, and it is tall, therefore Govardhan is ever expanding. So this Govardhan, Krishna said, is my love for you. So therefore, because of that, Radharani points out to Govardhan and says, of all the devotees, this hill is the topmost. Sometimes people may think, what blind faith is this? You going around circumambulating a pile of rocks and you say that's the best among devotees? Well, I know in my temple community there are devotees better than that hill. We may think like that. But actually it is described. When pure Vaishnavas, they think of Krishna, their hair stands on end. Their voice chokes. Tears stream from their eyes. Their skin has discoloration. And they become stunned in ecstasy. When pure Vaishnavas, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu displayed extreme level of devotion, it is described, Pulaka Ashru Kampa Sweda Tahate Bhushan. Sripad Prabodhananda Saraswati has said, Gaude Gaura Sudha Kare Samuditam Kim Kim Vichitram Nahi. He said, all the astonishing symptoms of ecstasy were seen in the body of Mahaprabhu. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanted the name of Krishna, Sharad Jyotsna Sindur Avakalanaya Jata Yamuna Brahma Dhavan Yosmin Hari Viraha Tapar Nava Iva Nimagno Murchala Payasi Nivasan Ratri Makhilam Prabhata Prapta Swaihi Avatu Sashachti Sunu Ihanaha. That the love for Krishna makes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu go crazy in ecstasy. Tears are coming from his eyes like waterfalls. It is described Mahaprabhu could stand at a distance and bathe the deities like water syringes coming from his eyes out of ecstasy. And his color would change. He would become bluish black. Sometimes his joints would get dislocated out of love. His teeth would chatter and voice would choke, hair would stand on end, and he would become stunned. It's described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu once in ecstasy became like a pumpkin. So, next time you pass a house which is celebrating Halloween, and you see pumpkins outside, with eyes and nose. Don't get scared. Just remember Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And there is a Shikha. Pumpkin Mahaprabhu ki. Chaitanya Charitamrita describes Mahaprabhu in ecstasy sometimes would become like Kurmadev. His limbs would get inside his body and he would be stunned in the form of a tortoise. That Kurmadev, he lifted Mandarachal mountain. But this Kurmadev lifted the mountain of love of God and churned out the nectar from the ocean of the scriptures and distributed that nectar of love of God. That is this Kurma Chaitanya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is described, just like he went through all the symptoms of ecstasy. Giriraj Govardhan, he has all these symptoms of ecstasy. Actually, Govardhan is a person. But because he gets stunned in ecstasy looking at Krishna, he appears like a pile of rocks. But he's actually not a pile of rocks, he's a person. But he's so stunned in love for God that he's stunned like a pile of rocks, looks like a mountain. But that's his stunned mood. Then, what are the other symptoms of ecstasy? We said when you are in love with God, hair should stand on end. Yes, Govardhan's hair are the grass. And when Krishna steps, Yad Rama Krishna Charana Sparasha Pramoda, by the Sparasha, by the touch of the Charana, the lotus feet of Rama and Krishna and Balaram, what happens? Hair on this body of Govardhan stands erect in the form of grass. And the hair stands erect, and what happens? The grass becomes very flavorful, tasty, colorful, and fragrant. Padmagandha. And the cows now eat that grass. Govardhan is tasting the ecstasy of love. Cows are tasting the hair in the form of grass and tasting a portion of the love that Govardhan feels in his heart. Now the cows, when they feel that ecstasy that Govardhan feels, then the cows become so overfull in joy that their milk becomes very sweet. Now that milk, when it's milked, is what causes milk sweets for the pleasure of the whole of Vrindavan. And this is what keeps Nanda Maharaj's business going. Goraksha Vanijyam, as a Vaishya, he's into trading of milk products. And he makes very good profit. Why? Because of the milk. And the milk is sweet because of the cows. And the cows are happy because of the grass. And the grass is standing erect as the hair on the body of Sri Giriraj Govardhan. Then we said, one more symptom of ecstasy is discoloration. You can see on Govardhan, you can see different colors of rocks. Black color rock, golden color rock, white color rock, brown color rock. And when you see those rocks, we should understand, oh, these are all discoloration and changing of color because of ecstasy in the body of Giriraj. In a book called Brajariti Chintamani, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, Govardhan also helps in maintaining social distancing. Social distancing is not a COVID concept. It's there in Brajariti Chintamani. How? Govardhan does it. How does he do it? It is described when Radharani walks across and passes through some of those rocks of Govardhan, then those rocks of Govardhan become golden. And now when Balaram comes there, he sees the golden rocks and he understands, oh, Radharani and the gopis may have walked. So out of social distancing, out of tradition, he doesn't take that path. He walks from another path. So this is how Govardhan makes sure that Balaram and the Gopas don't come very close to Radharani and the gopis. And when Balaram walks through some rocks, walks around Govardhan, then those rocks become white. So when Radharani and the gopis, they look, then out of shyness, because Balaram is the older brother for Krishna, and Krishna is the Lord of their life, so out of respect, that the rocks are white because Balaram and the friends may have walked. Radharani and the Sakhis, they maintain social distancing and they take another path. In this way, when Krishna walks, the rock become dark, and when Balaram walks, the rocks are white, and when Radharani walks, the rocks are golden. And in this way, different colors are seen on Govardhan to indicate to different people in and around Vrindavan who has walked through where. How wonderful. It seems like we are actually a pile of rock. Useless, rasa, devoid of any rasa, rock. Rock-hearted, stone-hearted. One time one devotee came to His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj and said, Maharaj, now I am a brahmachari, but I remember at one point, growing up in America, my desire was to become a rock star. So Maharaj said, then you should worship Govardhan because he is the rock star. He's the actual star among rocks. Then you can become rock star. So in this way, Govardhan goes through discoloration and change of color. Vaivaranya, it's called in Sanskrit. Then one more symptom of ecstasy we mentioned is the person becomes filled with tears. And it is described, Radha Kund and Shyam Kund are the tear-filled water pond eyes of Govardhan. Govardhan is in the shape of a peacock. Mukharavind is the face. Dan Ghati is the throat. Poochri Ka Lota is the tail, pooch. And Radha Kund and Shyam Kund are the ever-fresh, moist, tear-filled water ponds representing the love of Godhead sprinkled in the eyes of Govardhan. So therefore, if somebody comes and takes darshan of Radha Kund and Shyam Kund, Govardhan is watching them. Then we have this question, if Govardhan is such a great devotee, and Shastra describes he is so many million miles wide and tall, then when we go to Vrindavan, we don't see like that. Why? It is described that Paulastya Rishi cursed Govardhan, that you will reduce every day by the size of a mustard seed. But, is it possible actually? Paulastya Rishi is not even a Brajbasi, Pulastya Rishi. It's not even a Brajbasi. And he can curse Govardhan, the best among devotees, and Govardhan will be cursed and Krishna will watch? No. Outside Vrindavan, this is the reason. Pulastya Rishi cursed, therefore to respect the curse of Pulastya Rishi, Govardhan is reducing by the size of a mustard seed every single day, and therefore over Dwapar Yuga and now Kali Yuga, 5,000 years, he has reduced in size. But the actual reason is, after Radha and Krishna left this world, Giriraj Govardhan fell on his knees in depression, in sorrow, in grief, that the only divine couple for whom he is alive, he can't find them anymore. So when someone is in grief, you can see they will fall on their knees, they will sit down, and they will even fall. So Govardhan, who was standing tall, performing services in the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, when Radha and Krishna departed, Giriraj Govardhan fell flat on his knees. And in complete sorrow, now he is only so much above the ground. Radha Kund and Shyam Kund are the eyes. The whole body has gone underground. And now he is only through his eyes searching for Radha and Krishna everywhere. That's why we see only this much portion of Govardhan, not his whole body. This is the love that Giriraj Govardhan has for Krishna. This is not mental speculation, dear devotees. Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everybody worships Sri Giriraj Govardhan. In fact, it is described Chaitanya Mahaprabhu touched a Govardhan Shila. And in love of God and remembering Krishna, that rock melted. And the thumbprint of Mahaprabhu's thumb is found on that Govardhan Shila, which he gave to Raghunath Das Goswami. Rupa Goswami has composed Govardhan Ashtakam. Raghunath Das Goswami has composed Govardhan Dashakam. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has composed Govardhan Ashtakam. All our acharyas have worshipped Giriraj Govardhan. Giriraj Govardhan in his caves, he performs very beautiful pastimes. It's described Krishna plays hide and seek in the caves of Govardhan. In America you say hide and go seek. Right? You add a go there. Because who's playing hide and seek? It's Gopal who plays it. So hide and go seek. Gopal. Go for Gopal. Go for Govind. Go for Govardhan. Go for Gokul. Go for Golok. Go for Goswamis. Go for Gopas. Go for gopis. Go hide and go seek. So it's described when Krishna hides in those caves, many times his dhoti comes out. Because Krishna is running as a baby with all his friends. So his dhoti is coming out. So he's tucking his dhoti inside. And Giriraj Govardhan is watching all this. But if he starts speaking and moving as a person, then Krishna will become very embarrassed. And he will not be able to tuck in his dhoti. So just like in our bathroom, the walls exist, but we don't consider them to be persons. Like we do our needful and we come out. So Giriraj Govardhan has taken that position of the wall. So he's watching, but he doesn't move because if he speaks something, then Krishna will become embarrassed as he's turning his dhoti. Now Giriraj is stunned and just standing, looking at these pastimes. Krishna can't even believe that there is a person. So he removes his dhoti and he ties it back again. And Govardhan gets even more stunned looking at the form of Krishna. So the form that the walls take is what Giriraj takes. Just like every form of Krishna is worshipped in a different way. Like the deity is worshipped through deity worship. The holy name is worshipped through chanting. Bhagavatam is worshipped through studying and distribution. Similarly, Govardhan is worshipped by circumambulation. So we have a Govardhan Shila here, and we can circumambulate. And Srila Sanatana Goswami, what to speak of his Nishtha or Govardhan? Every single day of his life he circumambulated Giriraj. So sitting here at the lotus feet of Shri Shri Radha Neela Madhav, we can pray, O Giriraj,
O Giriraj,
Govardhan.
Govardhan.
What does Govardhan mean? I'm asking, what does Govardhan mean? Go? What does go mean? Go means Govinda Bhakti. And Vardhana means to nourish. Oh Govardhan, you please nourish Vardhan, my Govinda Bhakti. The devotion at the lotus feet of Govinda, please you increase and nourish that. That is my only desire, O Govardhan. May my devotion at the lotus feet of Krishna increase. That's the only thing that I want. So that's the fourth Tattva. So next time we go to Vrindavan, please don't forget to circumambulate Govardhan Hill and offer your obeisances to Govardhan. So much can be said. We can speak about Govardhan one whole lifetime. I don't have so much content, but we can speak. We can hear and speak from great Vaishnavas. But our Acharyas have written enough about Govardhan. And finally, we conclude today's session with the fifth and the most awaited Tattva, the Queen of Vrindavan, Vrindadevi herself. Shri Vrindadevi Tulsi Maharani ki Gangeya Champeya Tadid Vinindi Rochi Prabhasna Pitatma Vrinde Bandhu Ka Bandhu Dyuti Divya Vaso Vrinde Namaste Charanarvindam. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has written the Vrindadevi Ashtakam. Actually, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has written many Ashtakams. He has written a Vrindavan Ashtakam for the dust of Braja. He has written a Vrindadevi Ashtakam for Tulsi Devi. He has written a Govardhan Ashtakam for Govardhan. And Rupa Goswami has written Yamuna Ashtakam. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sang the Shiva Ashtakam. So there is an Ashtakam for each of the 5 Tattvas to enter the holy land of Vrindavan. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains, I bow down, Vrinde Namaste Charanarvindam. I bow down to the Queen of Vrindavan. And how is she? She's a very beautiful forest goddess. She is so beautiful that Gangeya Champeya Tadid Vinindi Rochit Pravahas Napitatma Vrinde. Her complexion is bathed with the effulgence of unparalleled beauty. The beauty of Vrindadevi is such that Gangeya Champeya Tadid Vinindi. The effulgence of Vrindadevi's complexion can put to shame the effulgence of lightning, champaka flower, and the whole universe. All of them put together. That's the effulgence coming from the body of Vrindavan. She's a very, very beautiful, wonderful forest goddess. Now we may ask a question, what is her role? And how is she useful and important in my life? Dear devotees, Tulsi Devi, Vrinda Devi is so important that without her we can't even have prasadam. Let's talk about the most fundamental need of a Vaishnava. Austere devotees may not agree to this. Madhav Chandra Prabhu ki jai ho. Very austere. Hare Krishna. But for devotees like us, Vaishnavan Prabhu, I include you with me. Devotees like, huh?
Also, he used to have Prasad in his name.
Saying Damodar Prasad Prabhu is also included because he has the name Prasad. Suddenly devotees, we find that when they come for Mangalarti also, they come for the last stanza. 3 times. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado, yasya prasadat nagati. Kahan hai prasad? So we can see even the bhoga cannot become prasad unless touched by the tulsi leaf of this world. Please tell me, the other day we were discussing the cooking that Radharani and Mother Yashoda do for Krishna, right? Can we ever match that standard? Making the sweet which has the taste of powdered moonlight. Can we ever make sweets with that taste? Impossible. So when Krishna gains that from Radharani and Mother Yashoda's cooking, please tell me, why will he dip in Seattle, Washington to our homes and eat what we are giving? One reason why. Because on top of that there is a tulsi leaf. Shastra describes tulsi has the power to make impossible into possible. Impossible into possible. Those grains of bhoga which will never reach Krishna's mouth, just by coming in contact with the tulsi leaf, those grains of bhoga now become qualified to enter the mouth of the Lord of the creation. This is the power of tulsi leaf. And therefore at the time of Diksha, we can see Srila Prabhupada was so particular about having neck beads, tulsi beads. In one initiation, Srila Prabhupada was giving the name and the chanting beads. He was about to give, he asked what the 4 regulative principles are. The devotee chanted, and Prabhupada said, your name is, and then he was about to give the chanting beads, and Prabhupada said, where are your neck beads? The devotee forgot to wear neck beads, tulsi beads. So Prabhupada, who was about to give the beads, he took it back. And then Prabhupada looked at the devotee who just got initiated before him. He also didn't have neck beads. The devotee took the bead. He thought Prabhupada was going to take his beads also. He took it away. He said, Prabhupada, I will wear and come. And Prabhupada looked at the temple president and said, it's your duty to make sure that the devotees have neck beads. You are the senior devotee. They are taking initiation. You should make sure that they have neck tulsi beads. Why was Prabhupada so particular about it? Dear devotees, we are all bhoga. What are we? Bhoga. We will never reach Krishna because we are simply sense gratifying. We are bhoga. But just like bhoga, when touched with tulsi, becomes prasad. Similarly, we are all like bhoga. And Sri Guru is the one who is doing the offering. He places a tulsi leaf in the form of the kanthi, and after initiation we become prasad. We become accepted by Krishna. Diksha kale bhakta kare atma samarpan. So bhoga to prasad just by the touch of tulsi. This is why in our life we see the glorious position of tulsi. Vrinda Devi, the forest goddess of Vrindavan, her main service is to connect everyone to Radha and Krishna. That's her main service. She makes impossible into possible. So if you put a tulsi leaf, bhoga becomes prasad. If you wear neck beads, we get accepted by Krishna. It is described, if you have neck beads and if you accept prasad, that's considered to be a fire sacrifice. Please chant Sikte sikte tu labhate.
Sikte sikte tu labhate.
Ashwamedha phalam mune.
Ashwamedha phalam mune.
Shastra describes with every grain of prasad that goes through the throat which has a neck bead, tulsi bead. Ashwamedha phalam mune. We get the benefit of fire sacrifice. And what if you bathe with tulsi beads around your neck? Let's see what we get. Let's chant. Snana kale tu yasyange.
Snana kale tu yasyange.
Vartate tulasi shubha.
Vartate tulasi shubha.
Sarva tirtheshu snanam tat.
Sarva tirtheshu snanam tat.
Bhavati natu samshaya.
Bhavati natu samshaya.
Snana kale, at the time of taking bath. Yasya ange, on whose kantha, throat, vartate tulasi shubha. If there are neck beads, then when the water touches the neck beads, tulsi beads, and it washes our body, sarva tirtheshu snanam tat vartate natu samshaya. There is no doubt that one gets the benefit of bathing. Gange cha yamune cha iva godavari saraswati narmada sindhu kaveri jaresmin sannidhim kuru. We get the benefit of bathing in all holy rivers possible. So if you take 3 times bath and have prasad with neck kanchi beads, you're safe. Because with every morsel of prasad, we are performing yajna, and by taking multiple baths, we are bathing in holy river. This is the position of tulsi. By wearing tulsi, what happens? Tulasi kashtha jamalam.
Tulasi kashtha jamalam.
Little more enthusiastic. Tulsi is appearing for our benefit. We are chanting as if we are doing favor on her. She is doing favor on us. Tulasi kashta jamalam.
Tulasi kashta jamalam.
Kanthastham vahate saha.
Kanthastham vahate saha.
Ashaucha api anacharo.
Ashaucha api anacharo.
Mame vaishyatya samshayam.
Mame vaishyatya samshayam.
Anybody who wears tulsi beads, anybody from any background, whatever their past, present and future may be, ashaucha api anacharo, even if they are most unclean, mame vaishyasya samshayam. Krishna has promised that person will come to me. This is the power of tulsi. Now the question people will ask, oh, then there are no rules to wear tulsi kanchimala? No, there are no rules. But when tulsi is so considerate to come and sit on the throat of anyone and everyone, is it not our duty to make sure that we at least follow some basic rules to respect her? When someone comes and says, okay, I'll sit down, we will say, no, wait a minute, I'll at least give you an asana. So tulsi is saying, I am ready to sit on your throat. So we should make sure what goes down the throat is no meat, no fish, no eggs, no onion, no garlic, etc. Tulsi is not asking for it. Shastra doesn't say it. But it is our duty to respect tulsi. Now if someone doesn't have tulsi around their neck, what happens? Yankanthe tulasi nasti.
Yankanthe tulasi nasti.
Tenara mudha-manasa.
Tenara mudha-manasa.
Shvana vishtham cha tasyannam.
Shvana vishtham cha tasyannam.
Jalam cha madirasamam.
Jalam cha madirasamam.
Shocking, right? I am not saying anything of my own. See, I am just quoting from Shastra. Our duty is to quote Shastra. Now, whether we want to accept or not, that's up to the audience. But Shastra says, Yan kanthe tulasi nasti te nara mudha manasa. Those throats which don't have kanthi, tulsi, neck beads, they are the lowest among mankind. And shvana vishtham cha tasya annam. Every grain of food that they eat without a throat or with a throat without kanthi, they get the sin of eating garbage. And I am neutralizing the actual word. The actual word is shvana vishtha. I will not even translate it. Garbage, let's put it like that. That throat which doesn't have neck beads. And when we eat anything and everything, we get the sin of gulping down garbage. And when we drink water, jalam cha madira samam, we get the sin of drinking alcohol. Alcohol. With every sip of water. So therefore, it is our duty before we go tonight. Narari Priya Prabhu will be there. Our temple has enough neck beads. Anyone and everyone who doesn't have it, please get it from the temple. And even if you have, you can take extra ones, because if your neck bead breaks, you can keep one extra in your bead bag, one in your backpack, one in your wife's bead bag. Right? What if you're going in a travel? What if you're traveling 5 hours on the flight and your neck beads break? It's good to have extra ones. So in this way, Tulsi Devi, she's an integral part of our life as Vrinda. The whole forest is called Vrindavan. She is the main goddess. Therefore, on the throat we have Tulsi, on the bhoga we have Tulsi, chanting beads are on Tulsi, and when we put tilak also, our tilak gets complete with a Tulsi leaf. Her main service is to bring Radha and Krishna together. That is her main service. And out of compassion, she brings all of us to her their lotus feet. Therefore, dear devotees, saying this, I will pause for today. These are the 5 prominent Pancha-tattvas in the land of Vrindavan. To recap, Vrindavan is the land of Radha and Krishna's beautiful pastimes, and the 5 beautiful, wonderful, compassionate, merciful, magnanimous entry points, the tattvas, are the dust of Vrindavan, which carries the dust of all the Vaishnavas, Lord Shiva, the greatest Vaishnava, Yamuna, the flowing of rasa, Giriraj, who is the heart of Krishna, and Vrinda Devi, who is the goddess of this land. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Gaur Premanande. I want to conclude by expressing my heartfelt gratitude to the management of the temple, to each one of you, headed by Harivilas Maharaj, who has been spearheading and single-handedly, like the captain on the ship, taking this whole community. In fact, His Grace Radhesham Prabhu was saying that Harivilas Maharaj's classes are exactly like Prabhupada's. They are philosophical, uncompromising, filled with experience, practical reality of this world, and verse by verse. So my request is, devotees in the community, please take advantage of the presence of such a great soul. Please don't let familiarity come between you and your service. When personalities from outside come, they see the potential, the glory, the fortune and the opportunity in this community. I feel supremely blessed to see a temple hall on a Friday evening filled with devotees, Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, children, such beautiful deities, such opportunity to serve. I feel very, very honored and privileged to be here. To the temple management, to each one of you for kindly participating, I bow down hundreds and hundreds of times. Thank you very much.
Haribo.
I express my gratitude with all my heart to His Grace Brajraman Prabhu and Her Grace Shriji Mataji for inviting me and hosting me and taking care of me. And not to forget Kavya and little Murli also, who have been so kind to me as family. And I really want to thank all of you repeatedly, again and again, out of folding my palms with gratitude for taking such wonderful, wonderful care of my little brother. Parents are back in India, I am in Atlanta. And as far as family is concerned, we are all apart. Parents are there and I'm in Atlanta and Arjun Sakha is in Seattle. I remember he had an opportunity, a job opportunity opening in Atlanta. When I asked him that, why don't you move? His first response was, he said, I cannot leave Seattle. So I told him, you can leave with me. He said, I cannot leave the community. He said, this community is beautiful. I'm not going to leave. I will leave the job, but I will stay. So that only shows the love and the parental affection all of you have showered. You can include me also in that. And both brothers, as your family. I'm always there in this community as service. Until next time, whenever opportunity arrives, and Neela Madhav invites, and I am able to come here, till then, I request all of you to continue to pray so that we can engage wholeheartedly in the service of Sri Prabhupada's mission. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Or should a circumambulation be? So do you want to say
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. This was the last session for all of us. As Prabhu said, he is going to come back and cover the rest two topics, the Tattva of Govardhan and Vrindavan Devi in his next trip. So let's also express our gratitude and thank His Grace Amarendra Prabhu for giving his heart and all his effort, all his energy for all of us actually. He loves us so much that I know that he's not having his proper sleep, not having proper meal. He didn't even have dinner today actually. So he just came because he was getting late. He was meeting all day with all the devotees. So let's express our gratitude and thank His Grace Amarendra Prabhu by loudly chanting Haribol 3 times. Haribol! 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 And also it's the last time he's going to do Kirtan in this trip. So please participate as much as you can. So he's going to come amongst us and he'll do the Kirtan.
Haribol.
While the Kirtan is happening, at the end or during the time, you can do circumambulation here. And make sure that when you are doing it, you maintain the distance. Because they are delicately perched on tables here. So while the Kirtan is going on, you can do the circumambulation.
Okay, after Kirtan. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, coming very close. They will
Hare Krishna, everybody please sit down, Boshun, Kurcho, Okarango, बैठिए, बसा, please. Okay, golden rule. Okay, first ring is only for the instrument players. Then second ring is for the chorus. And also give some space for lighting, please.
बैक पर गया है और बराबर सीधा चला
अभी तो लाइट बंद करने का टाइम भी है।
ठीक है
एक लाइट
नहीं होगा ना फिर
डोर्स ओपन करके
वो कर देंगे
थोड़ा सा पीछे I put it on the table.
बेटा नेक्स्ट टाइम हैंगिंग वाले लाइट बना ऊपर चले जाए और इंटरेक्ट
Hare
Now everyone. Hare Krishna.
प्रभु की हरिदास महाराज की श्रील प्रभुपाद की समेत भक्त वृंद की जय।
बोल प्रेमानंदे।
थैंक यू प्रभु।
Seattle Youth Harinam Sankirtan Revolution की
All the youth is here. See the youth is here. Youth. Focus like. Jai. Thank you, Prabhu. Wonderful.